Good evening, sir and ma'am. On behalf of XIM and Team CONSTRAT, we, Ayushi and Hrishikesh, member of Team CONSTRAT, would like to thank you for collaborating with us for our flagship event, Anukaran 4.0, which is a national level business simulation competition. It is an honor for all of us here, sir, to have you on board with us as a sponsor for our event.
So today we have with us Mr.Arvind Nagpal, the CEO of TEG Analytics. TEG Analytics is a data science as a services company that helps organizations make better decisions at the intersection of business, technology, and applied mathematics. And as the tagline rightly says, TEG delivers insights at the speed of business. Mr. Arvind Nagpal is the founder and CEO of TEG Analytics. An engineer by education, he has been leading the company since the last 15 years, which has steered TEG Analytics towards success in the data analytics industry under his vision and leadership.
Sir, we would like to hear something from you about what TEG is all about and what are the work over there.
So, TEG, like a child, has gone through various stages in life. And I would say, it's an adult who's finally found its soul, what its true calling is. And I would say, we have gone through metamorphosis over the last 3 years, and we are truly now a product-first strategy company, which leverages a lot of the new age techniques and technologies around artificial intelligence, machine learning to solve some of the age-old complex business problems. And really that's what TEG is all about now. And if I could, if you had asked me this question several years ago, we were just a bunch of people that got together with a 5-seater office, and we were just trying to figure out, what analytics is all about. But today we are, very proudly and confidently, pouring into this healthcare business.
So it's very nice to hear this, and we can see the emotions and the words on all the emotions coming out from you, from your words. It's quite visible, sir.
Oh, well. It's a baby that, we have grown over the last several years. So thank you.
As we very well know that analytics is now booming in the industry, and undoubtedly many companies are moving into automation and data analytics. So what differentiates TEG from its competitors, and what are your current goals and plans for the company, sir?
So I think, we are the very few analytics companies who have followed a product strategy. And within TEG, we made a very conscious call that we would only go into a client if our product goes in first. And that's the underlying strategy through which, we've been able to create a differentiation for ourselves. One, it allows us to deliver a lot more value to our clients because we are able to decode what we learn and put it back into the product. And over time, our product is continuing to grow, both in terms of capabilities and the value it is delivering to our clients. So really, that's the strategy we've been following, and that's what differentiates us. I would say the goals, clearly we just scratched the tip of the surface on healthcare. There is so much more to be conquered. Currently, we support mainly the healthcare insurance companies in the US, but there's a huge market for us to go into the hospital systems. And our product can very easily be repurposed for the hospital. So those are some of the future goals that we have in mind, and hope to conquer them soon.
Yes, sir. Healthcare sector is one of the booming sector out here right now in such scenario.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the current pandemic has really taught us, how important it is to, take care of the healthcare needs for the needy people and for ourselves. So couldn't agree more.
We cannot deny the fact that competition is everywhere. We face competition at each and every step of our life. So in this current world of competition, I'm very much curious to know, how do you measure success at TEG? And moreover, how do you motivate your employees?
All right. So how do we measure success? So success frankly, for an organization, like ours, we measure it at various levels. At the highest level, our measure of success is how much has our customer succeeded in using our products. And ultimately, if they are successful, we will be successful. Taking it to the other end, how do we measure the success for our employees? I think the success comes around how much have they grown and how fast have they grown in the company. And we are, one company that is very well known in the industry, who has seen people who have joined us as interns to, go up to the level of being the business leaders for the respective verticals. So, that's how I like to measure our success internally, how fast our people are growing.
How do you motivate your employees? It's quite difficult to keep motivating every time your people met and fellow mates and colleagues over there.
Right. See, I think every individual has his own set of motivations, but we as human beings, I think there are some common denominators. And frankly, what I have learned over the time is you give people space. If you give people space, it allows them to really bring out their creativity. And if that creativity can translate to a better outcome for somebody else, and that can also be recognized, I think that's kind of the philosophy we follow a little bit around the motivation. The second aspect is around learning. I think people, if they have a choice, a place where they can learn faster, they will forego the jobs in some of the big companies because they want to learn faster. And financial outcomes should be a byproduct rather than as the main motivator. So for people who do the right things, who do well in our company, money follows for them, which cannot be neglected. So those are some of the things that, of course, we do, and we do a whole bunch of other things that I could probably spend a full day talking about it.
Sir, you mentioned about COVID-19 pandemic. We all know how the COVID situation has changed each and everyone's life. So how has the working environment at your workplace changed pre and post COVID? If you start a comparison between this, how it has changed, sir?
First of all, I would love to get back to office. I think the energy that we used to see all around us with people having both fun and doing great work is not as visible when you're working in the virtual environment. So, I would love to go back to the pre-COVID work environment, but we recognize that, we couldn't have stayed in that mode while the world was going through the turmoil. So we went through a little bit of, soul searching as to, what it means for us. I think we had to start looking at the positive aspects. So the first and the foremost, the biggest gain that we had out of this whole thing was the ability to tap into talent across the world. And we have people working out of such remote areas. I mean, people working out of Jammu and Kashmir to people, working out of Hawaii because, people chose to, because people could work from anywhere. So that's been a, great thing in terms of the work environment. But we still felt that, people needed to make that connection. As we were bringing more people, it was very important for them to relate to the TEG values and see it in action. So the HR team really came up with a great initiative, what we call as work retreat. And we got everybody together. This time, it happened to be in Goa. We flew everyone to Goa, and it was a work week. It was actually wonderful to see, people huddling around the swimming pool, having a conversation, people working in the cafeteria, talking to each other, having huddles, and of course our conference room and all that. So it's worked out really well, where, we decided to meet 3 or 4 times in a year at a place which is neutral. People didn't want to come to Bangalore for some reason. So we decided, we'll go at this time, and most likely we'll do our summer retreat in Kashmir. So that's our new work environment, so to speak.
That was a very good initiative, sir.
Thanks to our HR team, they did such a beautiful job.
Sorry, actually, even if we also get a chance to go back to our college, then we would have run it.
So are you guys working remote, or you guys have in-person classes, or how is it working?
So online only, everything is going on remote.
Sir, currently we are in virtual mode. Last month only we had offline classes, but due to the sudden rise in COVID cases, it was again shifted to online.
Oh, no, I wish you guys that you guys get back to the campus life again. Those 2 years of beautiful life. I mean, but it is what it is for the family.
Yes.
Yep.
So coming to the next question, as we have realized the importance of mental peace in the COVID scenario, so what do you enjoy most about your work at TEG, and is there anything which you don't like it?
Which I don't like. I don't like the part of not being working in the same office under one roof. That's the part I don't like it right now. But about work, frankly, I mean, I just love my work. I love the people that I work with. So if there is anything that I could do, it would be, just working with my team. So it keeps me going all the time.
Artificial intelligence and machine learning, AI and ML, are currently big buzzwords in the industry. You being the CEO of such a big analytics company, what are your views on the future prospects of AI and ML and its application in the industry?
So I would say it's really no longer a buzzword. I mean, it was a few years ago. It is mainstream, and for us, it's actually the core. So all our products are powered by AI and ML. But I do, want to constantly remind ourselves, and I tell my team as well, that, it is really the business problem that we are solving. Yeah, it just so happens that, AI, ML allows us to solve it in, some very new, innovative ways. But at the end of the day, it is the business problem that, we are trying to solve is the main focus. Today it is AI, ML. Tomorrow it may be yet another form or flavor of something else. So I would say, just stay focused on the business outcome.
Sir, now let's move on to our second part, which is a fun segment part. I would like to ask you, how would you define yourself apart from being the CEO of TEG Analytics? Like, what do you do when you are not working?
Either I'm cleaning my garage, because that gives me, almost it's very meditative for me. So I like to organize things. So if ever I get mad with my kids or with my wife, they say, I think it's best that you go into the garage and leave me there for about half an hour, and I come out pretty happy. But on a more fun part, you can always find me on the tennis courts as long as the weather is nice. So,
that's really interesting, sir.
Yeah, and I do also have a furry friend in the house, so she keeps me busy, and I love to take care of her. She's a 13-year-old lab, so she's like a grandma, so I like to take care of her too.
So now coming to the next question, means how would you compare your life in Bangalore versus your life in America, since you have lived in both the places? So now if I give you the two places, which place you will prefer living in?
Oh, I think both have their own pluses. I mean, I absolutely enjoy living here in India for many reasons: the culture, the food, the people, the work, everything. And at the same time, I think the US has given me a lot of the learnings around professionalism, quality, attention to details. I would say, I have not worked in India my entire life. I've always worked in the US, and I relate to the business values that are in the US. So for that reason, I like to spend half my time in the US and half the time in India. Certainly, I learn a lot from our customers, and here I learn a lot from our people. So it's a great combination to have both.
So it means you have enjoyed the best of both the worlds.
I must say that, yes. I mean, I was very, very fortunate to have access to both.
Sir, you must be getting many excuses for leave. So I would like to know what is the most common, or rather the most funniest excuse that you have gotten for a leave from your employee.
Well, it's funny how we think that this would be a leave would be you would apply for a leave, and there would be reasons to see why somebody is taking a leave. In TEG, we have what we call as an open leave policy, which means you don't have to ask for permission. You just take the leave because you need to do that. There's no questions asked. I think the only thing the company requires, or our team requires, is that you deliver on the commitments that you have made. If you're able to balance both, there are people who've taken months off, and but the work hasn't suffered, and no questions asked, and that's the beauty of open leave policy. But we brought this thing about 4 years ago, frankly. But prior to that, yes, my dog fell sick, or my grandma died the second time, so we've had some of those excuses also. So but that happened to us, frankly. I mean, somebody came and said, "Oh, my grandma passed away." I was like, "Did she pass away 2 years ago as well?" And it was funny, but it is what it is.
Yes, so that's interesting too. Do you have any tips for the people who want a successful career in analytics? Special tips?
I think I'll go back to my earlier statement that, analytics is just yet another tool. I mean, you guys are representing the consulting and the strategy consortium, right? And the tools will come and go. It's really the business problem that you are attacking is the prime focus. And if that always stays as your North Star, I would say, the enablers you guys will figure out. So that would be what I would recommend you look at the world. Yeah.
Thank you for the answer, sir. Sir, on a closing note, would you like to give any life advice or any parting comments for people like us in our 20s, about to begin our careers in corporates and wanting to make it big?
I think your generation and the millennial generation have taught the Gen X so much. And frankly, if I could just make one statement, and it may come across a little cliched, but it is absolutely what I believe in is, follow your passion. And if you watch Three Idiots, I don't know how many number of times, but be the rancho, good things will happen. Life is too short. Just truly follow your passion, whether it's a hobby or any leisure activity that you do where you lose track of time. I think that's your calling. In many ways, my work is my calling. I absolutely enjoy it. I mean, today is a Saturday, and I've already spent like 6 hours, doing so many things for the office, and it's just my joy in life. And I hope you guys find your joy, follow your passion.
Thank you, sir, for your insights.
My pleasure, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to have this conversation with you guys.